defend their property.
When the last iteration of your flagship franchise is the abysmal Call of Juarez the Cartel, you know you need a bit of a change. Techland knew the course of action that needed to be done was to regress the series back to its bootlicking Wild West origins in favour of recapturing the excellent vibe of the first two games. It has its flaws, but suffice it to say that Call of Juarez Gunslinger is one of the better downloadable titles you'll likely play this year.
Don't I know you, sir?
Don't believe so. I haven't been here in many years. Name's Silas Greaves.
Despite being a downloadable title, Call of Juarez Gunslinger packs in a campaign that lasts anywhere from 4 to 6 hours depending on the difficulty level. The narrative focuses on Silas Greaves, a former bagman turned legendary bounty hunter who recounts his 4-decade-long pursuit of vengeance to a group of skeptical townsfolk in Abilene, Kansas. His recount of the tale places him in the mix with some of the Old West's greatest historical figures and folklore that has more than its fair share of dramatic license and hokey vernacular. The interesting angle that it takes is when Greaves muddles up or prevaricates on certain elements of the tale that make you replay the set pieces again from different angles or with elements added that weren't there before. It creates a fun journey that keeps you entertained the entire way through, but it falters on the ending, which is incredibly predictable if you pay close attention.
Sounds like you don't give up too easy.
That's the kind of man I am, Ben. I set out to do something. I do it.
Gunslinger retains the emphasis on cover-based gunplay like that of its predecessors, instead focusing on dressing it up with some tweaks and new mechanics. While you earn experience points to increase your character rank, the amount of which you'll be rewarded depends on how effective you are at decimating your opponents. The more skillful kills you pull off, the higher the rewarded score will be. Gunslinger's shooting can be loose and unforgiving at first, but you'll slowly adjust to its style and find yourself building up the combo multiplier and landing headshots and environmental kills with dynamite with ease. Fortunately, the enemy AI is devious and intelligent enough to challenge you at every turn, driving you further to perfect your technique for some serious points. Each time you ascend in rank, you're given one skill point to expend across one of 3 skill trees focusing on dual wielding, long-range gunplay, or close-range fighting. Gunslinger affords you great latitude in letting you enhance stats to your liking, as well as rewarding you access to legendary weapons when enough skill points are applied to a single tier so it can be unlocked. All your unlocked content can be carried over into New Game Plus mode and True West difficulty so you can continue to perfect your arsenal, providing some decent incentive for replay value, especially since each story checkpoint is broken up into 15-minute sections for quick playing bursts. When you're done, you can go through all the stages and collect nuggets of truth, secret collectibles that are scattered throughout the stages. Depending on who you are, they're only really worth it if you're curious to brush up on your American history or hunting for 100% completion. Each stage closes out by pitting you against a legendary figure in a Mexican standoff to see who's the fastest draw to take the other one down. While the concept is good, it fails in its execution in this game. You use the left stick to steady your hand over your holster for increased draw speed, and the right stick to keep focus on your enemy for a good target shot. The coordination required isn't mind-boggling, but the hit detection in some instances is almost non-existent, resulting in some frustrating retries that take away from the immersion. Considering the mechanic fares no better in the separate duels mode where the same problems persist, it's a hard sell for players to dive into the feature altogether. An arcade mode is also featured where you can go through successive stages with one of 3 loadout classes trying to achieve high scores and combos to rank as high as you can on leaderboards. Successfully completing stages with either 1, 2 or 3 stars without dying unlocks class mods that make you more effective in cultivating score, and the gunplay is fun enough that you'll be satiated if you're hungry for some ferocious fun.
Burn me alive, but finding my way out of a burning labyrinth proved to be quite a challenge.
It was a riverboat, right? I mean, it's not like it was a goddamn ocean liner.
While it's never been a horsepower giant, the visuals in Call of Juarez Gunslinger are some of the series' brightest spots. There's a wide array of locations to experience and a neat balance between man-made and nature-based battlegrounds that evoke the distinctive character of the American Wild West very well, all the while being complemented by the Borderlands-esque cel-shaded look. The voice acting is excellent across the board despite some of the typical dialogue, and the sound design is solid, despite some repetitive exchanges between the AI during firefights. Overall, you could do far worse for a game of this price. Call of Juarez Gunslinger is an extremely fun, mechanically varied shooter with an engaging story and decent replay value. While the dueling mechanic needs work and some will bemoan the length of the campaign in comparison to other shooters on the market, it's a solid deal considering the game's price and the quality of the gameplay to keep you tided over until the full gaming season takes full swing. If you have the spare 1,200 points or $20 for the PS3 version, it's a great buy. Otherwise, try your hand at the free demo before you take the plunge.